Good times create weak people create bad times create strong people, and strong people create great times. What I want people to understand is that you need to know where you are in your life and where you are in history, and you must learn to take advantage of it. You can't complain that it's winter during winter. If you start a business in winter and succeed, 60% of all Fortune 1000 companies that exist today were born in winter, during a recession or depression. From FedEx to Disney, Disney was born during the Great Depression, and FedEx during a recession. I can walk you through them all. That process makes you strong, and what changed my life was finding that part inside all of us that refuses to give up. I'm proud to be a good human being, and I believe I am one. But I think hunger often comes from having gone through enough pain. I've suffered enough, and I don't want others to suffer. Anger only gets you so far, it's a fuel that burns out quickly. Now, let's take a second to reflect. Do you tend to focus more on what you can or can't control? There are 3 decisions we make every moment of our lives. The first is deciding what to focus on. There are millions of things we could focus on, but we only focus on a small band of things. Whatever we focus on, we experience in life. The second decision is the meaning we give to what we focus on. Is it the end or the beginning? If you think it's the end of a relationship, you'll behave differently than if you think it's the beginning. The meaning you create produces emotion, and those emotions control your third decision, what you're going to do. We don't experience life as it is, we experience life based on what we focus on. Once we understood seasons, we knew that if you do the right thing at the wrong time, there's zero reward. But if you do the right thing at the right time, the rewards are immense. If you plant in winter, no matter how hard you work, you'll get nothing. It's about recognizing the seasons in your own life. Some of you are younger, maybe 0 to 21, think of that as springtime. In spring, everything grows easily. If it's springtime in business, you might think you're a genius because your business grows. But everyone's business grows during spring because it's a time of optimism and growth. These cycles repeat every 18 to 20 years. If you study history, you'll see these patterns. After spring comes summer, a testing time. Many people plant in spring and wonder where their crop is. Summer tests people. Then comes fall, another reaping time when things flow easily. Economies boom, and people get mortgages even without jobs or assets. But after fall comes winter, and you never skip from fall to spring. Winter has a purpose, it weeds out the weak and makes us stronger if we push through. There's a purpose in every season. Think about the generation born in 1910. By 1929, when they were 19, the Great Depression hit. People jumped out of buildings, and the Dust Bowl devastated lives. But they pushed through, and by 1939, World War II began. That generation became known as the greatest generation because they endured and overcame. Good times create weak people, not bad people, but people who haven't been challenged. I've been through challenges that changed my sense of identity and what I believed I was capable of. I remember sleeping on a hill in the rain, then staying in a laundry room, writing my goals on the mirror. I bought a book called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol, which taught me how to program my mind. I was driven to succeed, not just for myself but for my family. I didn't want to settle for the pain I saw around me. That drive made me strong, even in sports. I was competitive, always pushing myself and others to be better. We don't experience life as it is, we experience life based on what we focus on. If you focus on what's wrong, you'll feel it, even if it's not true. Focus equals feeling, and focus equals reality to the individual. We decide every moment what to focus on, but most of us don't decide consciously, it's based on habit. But we can consciously choose what to focus on. When we decide what to focus on, our brain gives it meaning, which produces emotion, and that emotion controls our actions. Let's talk about 3 patterns of focus. Do you tend to focus more on what you have or what's missing? Most achievers focus on what's missing. During COVID, almost everyone focused on what was missing. But if you constantly focus on what's missing, it's hard to sustain happiness. You might still achieve, but you'll feel frustration, anger, or sadness. The period from 22 to 42 is statistically the most unhappy because people are trying to prove themselves and figure things out. But if you recognize patterns, fear disappears. Leaders anticipate, and anticipation is power. There are 3 skills everyone needs to succeed: pattern recognition, pattern utilization, and pattern creation. If you can recognize patterns, you can anticipate and use them to your advantage. The greatest investors, artists, and leaders all recognize and use patterns. But the highest level is pattern creation, creating something new based on what you've learned. That's how you leave a legacy. Understanding seasons changed humanity. Once we understood seasons, we could plant at the right time and reap rewards. The same applies to life. If you recognize where you are in history and in your own life, you can take advantage of the opportunities around you. That's how you create great times.